Hi and welcome to the presentation on Python lists, tuples and dictionary. Let's get started. So lists, tuples and dictionaries are all data types in Python. They used to store collections of data in different ways. Lists are ordered collections of items that can be changed, while tuples are ordered collections of items that cannot be changed. And dictionaries are ordered collections of key value pairs. Each data type has its own set of methods and functions that can be used to manipulate the data stored within them. Now, lists are created using square brackets and can contain items of any data type. I've shown an example of a list. We have L1 equals Atul 24, 20.2, and 2. So, list items are ordered, changeable, and allow duplicate values. The order of the items in a list will not change unless we explicitly change it using list methods. Since lists are changeable, we can add, remove, or change items in a list after it has been created. We can access items in a list by referring to the index number. For example, L1 of 1 refers to 24. We can also use negative indexing to access the items from the end of the list. For example, L1 of minus 1 refers to the last item in this list. Here it's true. So list also has a number of functions. There are many methods and functions available for working with lists in Python apart from concatenation and repetition. We'll see that shortly. So firstly, we have the append function. It will add an element at the end of the list. Similarly, we have the clear function to remove all the elements from the list. If you want a copy of an existing list, you can use the copy function. And if you want to count the number of times a element is repeating in the list, you can use the count function. To add multiple elements, you can use the extend function. If you want to get the index value of a particular element, the first time it's showing, we can use it by using the index function. And to insert an element at a specified position, you can use the insert function as well. To remove elements by specifying its index, we can use the pop function. If no position is specified, the last element is going to be popped. And if you want to remove a particular value, you can use the remove function. And to completely reverse the order, you can use the reverse. And to sort your list, you can use the sort function. So now let's move to the demonstration part. Now let's look at the working of list in action. First of all, I have concatenated two individual lists, list 1, 2, 3 and 2, 3, 4, 5, and I've stored it in L3. When I print it, as you can see in the screen, we get one whole list comprising 1, 2, 3, 2, 34, and 5. Again, I have demonstrated repetition here. Repetition is you can repeat the same list twice and you can store it in the same list. So here I am repeating L3 twice, and when I'm printing it, I get the same. First part is L3, again it is repeated once more. Nextly, I have created a list L1 with elements tiger 24, 20.2 and true, and I have made a copy of L1 and I've stored it in L2. To do that, you simply have to type L1.copy. And when I print it, we can see that what is in the output is a list which is the exact same copy of L1. Now, if you want to count the number of elements, a particular element, how many times it's occurring in the list, we can use the count function. Here, I've tried to count the number of tigers in this list. Since it's only one, get the output as one. And now we can try to add elements. If I want to add a single element, I can use the append function. Here, I've added the value Kerala at the end of list L1. And when I print it, you can see that it was up to here. And now the last element is also added. If I want to add multiple elements, I can use the extend function. So here I've extended Dominic, 21, 45, and Mexico. And when I print it, all those three values, all those four values get added at the at the end of the list L1. After that, I have the index function. If you have a particular value and want to know the index where it is in that list, you can use the index value. The 24 is in the first position, so it gives us 1 as output. If you want to insert an element at a particular position, at a particular index, then you should go for the insert function. Here at position 0, I am trying to insert 7. So it has successfully been executed, and look at here, we can see 7 before Tiger, so that is done. Now about deleting elements, you can delete an element from a particular index by using the pop function. By default, if you specify no arguments, it's going to delete the last element. So here, last element is Mexico, and after the pop function got executed, Mexico is performed. We can remove a value. If you specify the value, we can remove that by using the remove function. And I have taken down Dominic from the list. So from after this, I have taken down Dominic, and Dominic is no more in this list. Similarly, if you want to reverse the order, we know that a list is an ordered data type. If you want to reverse the order, you can use the reverse function. Before it was like this, and now it starts from 45 to 7. And in order to sort the list in ascending order, we can simply use the sort function. Here I have sorted L3 and L3 dot sort. Before sorting, it was like this, and after it, it's completely sorted. So these were the functions in list. Now let's move on to another data type. Our second data type is tuples. We can create tuples using round brackets or by using the tuple constructor. So I've made an example of a tuple. We have T1 equals 1983 India and true. It can store any kind of value, but it's unchangeable. A tuple is a collection of objects separated by commas. In some ways, a tuple is similar to that of a list in terms of indexing, nested objects, and repetition. But the main difference between both is that a Python tuple is immutable, unlike the Python list, which is mutable. Mutable means you can change, you can add, you can delete. But immutable means fixed, it's constant. You can't once it's created, you can't do anything to it. To create a tuple with only one item, you have to add a comma after the item. Otherwise, Python will not recognize it as a tuple. If you have a single element tuple, then after the first element, you have to put a comma. Otherwise, it might mistake it or an integer or any other data type. You can access items in a tuple by referring to their index number. The index number starts at 0 for the first item and go for 1 by each subsequent item. Also, there is a provision of negative indexing in tuple. So as with list, we have a couple of functions in tuples as well. We have the count function. It returns the number of times a specified value occurs in a tuple. Similarly with list, we have the index function as well. It searches the tuple for a specified value and returns the position where it was found. And tuple constructor. That can be used to create a tuple. It also supports concatenation and repetition as well. Let's just jump right into the demonstration. Now let's see the tuples in action. So first of all, I have concatenated two tuples. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a tuple, and tuple 3, 2, 32, 43, 5, double 3. So after concatenation, we have a single tuple here with both tuples made into a single tuple. And as I've said before, we also have the provision of repetition in tuple. Even though they are immutable, we can still concatenate and repeat. Here we have repeated two times, so up to here, and again the whole thing is repeated once more. So the count function, as I've said before, counts the number of times a particular element occurs in a tuple. We are counting 3. Since 3 occurs 3 times, we'll get the output as 3. And again, the index function will tell us the index of that particular element. Here it's 4, so 0, 1, 2, 3. 3 third is the position where 4 occurs. So it displays 3 here. Now, since our tuple is immutable, if we want to perform functions, if we want to perform operations to that, it's not possible. So what we do is, we first of all convert our tuple into a list using the list constructor. After that, our tuple is now a list. So we can perform all the operations we've seen before with the list. So here I have inserted a 2 at position, 89 at position 2. Then I have popped the last element, 1, 3 is removed. And now I can reconvert that list back into a tuple using the tuple constructor. This is how we perform operations which we cannot perform on a tuple via a list. So now let's move on to our third and final data type, dictionary. So our third data type is dictionaries, and dictionaries are written with curly brackets and have keys and values. It's completely different from tuples and list. So I've created a sample dictionary here, D1, company Toyota, model Supra, type sports, and color blue. So a dictionary is a collection of key value pairs where each key must be unique. Dictionary items are presented in key value pairs and can be referred to by using the key name. As of Python 3 version 3.7, dictionaries are ordered. In 3.6 and earlier, dictionaries were unordered. When we say that dictionaries are ordered, it means that the items have a defined order and that order will not change. And dictionaries are changeable, meaning that we can change, add, or remove items after the dictionary has been created. Duplicates are not allowed in dictionary. Like if you try to add a duplicate key, the value will override the existing value for that key. As with lists and tuples, dictionary too has its own built-in functions. We can create a dictionary using the dict constructor. Clear removes all the elements from the dictionary. Copy returns a copy of the dictionary, and to get the value of a specified key, we can use the get function. To get a list containing all the key values, key value pairs, you can use the items function. To get a list containing the dictionary's keys only, you can use the keys function. Similarly, to remove an element by specifying the key, you can use the pop function. If you want to just remove the last inserted key value pair, you can use the pop item function. And to update the dictionary with the specified key value pairs, you can use the update function. Also, if you want a list of all just the values in a dictionary, you can use the values keyword. Now let's quickly look at the working of a dictionary. Now let's look at the working of a dictionary in action. First of all, I've created a dictionary D1 with player Silva, number 21, club Man City, position midfielder, and age 36. So first of all, I've made a copy of D1 and I've stored it in D2. And when I print it, I get the same exact thing as D1. I'm going to use the get function. So d1.get of if I want to get the club, the club is a key name. So if I want to get the value of that key name, just write d1.get of the key name. So here I'm getting the value Man City right here. If I want to see a list of items, everything as a list, I can just write d1.items and we have a list of all the key value pairs right here. It's a list and each element is a tuple and the tuple is a key value pair. Similarly, if I want to get only the keys, just the keys, I can write d1.keys and look at this dict underscore keys. You'll get a list of all the keys, only the keys. And here I'm going to pop the age, I mean the last value. So the age is the keyword. So I'm going to pop it from this dictionary. And after that, we don't have an age no more. After that, this dictionary, the last the key value pair will be position midfielder instead of age 36. And the next function is pop item. It will take out the last key value pair. It was position midfielder here, but after that it's no longer available. We have just removed it using the pop item function. And the update function, we can just add another key value pair. So here we are going to update the dictionary with position striker. Position the keyword and the key and striker is the value. After that, we have a new key value pair at the end of our dictionary D1. And if you just want to see a list of all the values of our dictionary, we can use the d1.values function. And here we can see dict values, only the values will be displayed here. So with that, we have reached the end of this presentation. We discussed about lists, tuples, and dictionaries, their features and their uses, and the different built-in functions Python has in all of them, and with sufficient demonstration too. So thank you for watching this video.